In this series, I will invite one woman at a time to talk about her journey, her path to mental health, wellness, fulfillment and success here in the UAE. This is Feminine Power, UAE edition. Today I have my guest. This is Tonie-Maria Abi Nader, and she's a registered nutritionist, dietitian. She has a master's degree in healthcare management, and she's also the founder of Generation H. This is the first UAE platform where she brings together healthy snacks and evidence-based education about the food. So I have a confession to make from the beginning. I love your videos on Instagram where you go to the supermarket and just decode what is there in the packs that we buy.
Yeah.
Welcome, Toni.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do, and especially when you go to the supermarket and tell all the people what to buy and what to eat?
Thank you, Ola. As you mentioned, I'm a clinical dietitian and founder of Generation H. Generation H is actually my new baby. I just started it less than a year ago, and it was born after these supermarket videos that you see. So it's been almost more than 3 years that I go to supermarkets or even in my house and I decode labels and ingredients, and all started with my own personal challenges. When my son was very young, he suffered from eczema and asthma that, as any parent, would reach out to creams and medications instead of looking at the root cause of what is causing it. None of these really worked. They would help, reduce it, but whenever we stopped, the symptoms came back again. And it was until I saw a homeopath doctor. Right. She asked me one question actually, and it changed my life. And it's the reason why Generation H is born today. And she asked me, what's inside the food that your son is eating? And I answered her, I'm a dietitian, so I only give him healthy things. From the organic shop, things that I make at home. But as a busy mom, and as a lot of other busy moms, we opt for on-the-go snacks most of the times. She told me, still, go back home and check the ingredients. So when I went back home and I checked the healthy-looking snacks that I was giving my son, I found ingredients that even as a dietitian, I never understood. So when I researched these ingredients, I found studies that link them to eczema, to asthma, to ADHD, to other chronic conditions. I had a roller coaster of feelings. First of all, I felt betrayed by the labels, by myself. Like, how come as a dietitian I was misled? What about all the other moms, families, and even young people out there? So I felt like I had a mission here to guide people into what's really true and what's not. So I started with my own stuff in the house, very open my pantry, find things like as simple as, coffee creamers, like honey flavored cereals, things that you would not really think that they are highly processed. And I start detoxing my own house. My son's health transformed in a month after we detoxed. Until today, he never really needed those medications again. My health changed as well, and I felt, okay, let me take this to other people and help others. So I started to do these supermarket, also on the side, some workshops, and people's health started to transform inside out. It was no longer about losing weight anymore. It was about feeling good, sleeping better, having better mood. And they really saw this shift happen. And it was until a day when one of my clients was like, Toni, we wish there's a shop where everything that is Toni approved is there. Because we don't have time to read labels. And if we do, we don't understand. And we really want what's really good and what's not when we choose to eat healthy. I'm not saying that when we want a treat, we don't have it. No, it's about when we choose to eat healthy, to have access to truly healthy stuff. And that's where Generation H is born. I still lead the operation, the marketing, everything of Generation H, and also practice as a dietitian, and a mom, and so many other things. But yes, mostly nowadays I wear two hats, and they are somehow related. So
And that's an amazing start to the business, if you'd
Yeah.
like, because it's not just your passion and your profession, you lived it.
Yes.
And you know, it shows so well if you, as a dietitian, can be tricked by the companies,
Yes.
right, from healthy labels. What about the rest of us?
Yes.
Right? And that's why I feel I love what you do, because it actually tells me I shall buy and give it to my kids or
Yes.
not. As you were talking, I noticed something. Yeah, you were mentioning that it's not so much about losing weight now for people, but it's more about being healthy, sleeping well, so having health benefits.
Yes.
Do you see it as a dietitian, as a nutritionist, in women in particular, that women still focused more on the outer beauty, or is it changing a little bit and moving towards the wellness side of I want to be well from inside?
No, definitely I'm seeing a shift into they just want to feel better, and you know, they're both related, because when you feel better, it kind of gives you that confidence boost as well. Because think about it, when you feel low energy, when you have brain fog, when you're having some bloating, immediately this will reflect on how you feel externally and how you like react and talk to people and walk, like everything changes. So I do see the shift that, of course, women still focus on looking good and on their beauty, but I can see the shift now into not only looking good but feeling good at the same time. It's definitely happening. Yes.
And if you think of your personal journey, what brought you to this profession of being a dietitian and nutritionist? Were there any challenges? There was passion? How did you get there?
It's a mix of things. Since I'm very young, I wanted to be a doctor, so I had that drive to make people feel better. I always saw myself, even around my friends and community, I always tried to do something to make them feel better. So I did start actually as a pre-med student. I studied abroad in the US, and throughout that first year of med school, I gained so much weight. And honestly, since I'm in my teenager years, I always had, you know, food-body complex relationship. I always wanted to look on the skinnier side, but I felt that my body is different than my friends. I tend to put more weight. I had hormonal imbalances. Since very young, I had to take pills to fix my hormones. So when I was out of my comfort zone in med school, away from my family and under very stressful situation, I did put on a lot of weight that made me face even more health challenges.
Which is hard to believe looking at you now.
Yes, it was a very long journey and still is a very, very long journey. But when I suffered from health and weight challenges, I realized that we should never take our health for granted, first of all. And second of all, I thought that medicine is great, but nutrition is as good, because how you eat and what you eat can really prevent the health diseases and the conditions from happening. And that's where my passion moved. I still love medicine and I'm in science and everything, but I felt that I'm closer to nutrition, especially being a person who already struggled with, you know, weight and hormonal problems and gut health issues. So nutrition was more my calling. And I think from one experience to another, because when I finished nutrition school, I did my healthcare management. I actually worked in healthcare marketing and advertising before going back into nutrition practice. With that work, I kind of was able to be closer even to the market, because working with pharma companies, nutrition companies, you tend to identify market needs, pain points, and you kind of understand that, yes, nutrition is what's going to prevent a lot of chronic diseases from happening. Actually, 80% of chronic diseases nowadays, like things like diabetes, cardiovascular, autoimmune, skin diseases, 80% are related to diet and lifestyle. So imagine how much we can do.
How much power, if you think about it, right? Power. And I think this is where you come in professionally, because, okay, I would love to eat healthy. What is healthy, right? And that's where you give that guidance so that people know. So what is healthy? Tell us, please, a few tips.
Healthy food. There's no one way at looking at healthy, okay? We have to look at it as a as a big picture, all right? So healthy lifestyle, let's say, is structured around having 80 to 90% of food coming from real food. So ingredients,
real food as in what
ingredients that you will find in your kitchen.
Okay.
So first of all, start with food, make stuff at home.
Yeah.
80% of the time.
So fresh or cooked, you mean
Fresh
vegetables?
cooked, vegetables, protein,
right.
fiber,
Yes.
fruits,
Yes.
seeds, nuts, healthy
Yes.
oils, butter,
Right.
dairy, all of these like real ingredients
Right.
that haven't been really lab made or processed or went through a lot of chemical processing
Yes.
steps. So that's what we call the minimal processed food.
Yes.
If that constitutes 80% of your diet, 10% can focus on packaged food that are clean label. What is clean label and what is like truly healthy? It's when you flip the label and read the ingredients, and you would spot things that you still find in your kitchen. So things like dates, nuts, flour, even eggs.
Right. Eggs,
Sugar
especially
even.
eggs, I think.
Eggs, yeah,
Right.
like if any of the ingredients you wouldn't find it in your kitchen pantry or fridge, that means that ingredient is lab made. So
Right.
that moves
Right.
us away from being
Free range, normal eggs. Do you have any opinion about that?
Also, it's a mixed opinion because it also depends on a person's beliefs and how extreme he is in adapting a fully healthy lifestyle. The first thing I would tell everyone is that any type of egg, whether it's conventional, so it's the one that you would find without any
Yes.
label, or free range organic,
Right.
regardless of the label, the egg is one of the most nutritious superfood you would find in a supermarket, like regardless of the label. So we should never get demotivated to eat eggs
Should
just
start
because
eating eggs, Toni. I
Yes,
don't like
you
them
don't
much.
like eggs. There's many ways you can incorporate it into your
Right.
recipes, and you don't have to. This is the thing. But if you really like eggs, but you saw some video saying, conventional is toxic and you stopped eating, that's wrong. Because eggs is a superfood regardless of the label. Now, if you want better in terms of animal care, because conventional eggs, the chicken are actually, they are kept in small cages, condensed. They are not really treated well.
Yes.
So that's where, going a bit more pasture raised, which is not really found in lots of places in the UAE, where like chicks are like happily roaming around, eating from the floor, whatever they found. Then you would opt for more like free range, pasture raised, organic eggs. Okay. And now in terms of nutrition of the egg, both eggs, conventional and let's say organic, are nutritious. This is we agree on. Now the organic egg might still contain a bit more nutrients than the conventional, especially when we talk about omega-3. Like usually studies have found that it is a bit higher in the omega-3, but still both contain healthy fats and good protein, In terms of safety, a lot of people fear that the chickens, maybe they are fed GMO diets, corn and soy, or maybe treated with hormones or antibiotics. There's very little studies that prove that anything that they feed, even the GMO diet, actually passes through the egg that you eat. So the traces that might pass, they are metabolized by the human body and don't really impact as much as eating you as a person corn that is GMO. So this is what people sometimes fall short. They avoid the conventional egg because they think it's toxic, but then go eat a corn-based cereal that is not labeled GMO. This is where I have more concerns.
Fresh, real food in the kitchens. You said 80%?
80%,
80%,
90%. So, but like starting with 80%.
Okay.
So that's not hard to achieve. It's like your breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah.
And then your snacks can rely a bit on, packaged food. The minimally processed the food is, the better. Minimum process means the ingredients are something that you can pronounce, something that is found in your kitchen.
Right.
And also, when you look at ingredients, even if it's healthy, even if it's clean label, even if it's all natural, you should always follow the ingredients how they are listed. So they usually list them from the highest volume to the lowest. So if you get a date bar, let's say, and flip it, and dates is the first ingredient, it means this product is most likely high in sugar content.
Yeah,
So
okay.
even if it's natural and clean, it's very high in sugar.
Yeah.
And sugar impacts the body the same way regardless from where it's coming
Yeah.
from. So you should watch how often
Okay.
you eat it, how much you eat, especially if you are trying to maintain your blood sugar control,
Right.
you have weight
Right.
issues.
Right.
So
Right.
this is something also people fall a bit behind,
Yes.
is that when something looks healthy, they can eat
Yes.
as much as they can.
Right.
No, healthy is better for gut health, healthy is better for longevity, healthy is
Yes.
better for your cells at a structural level.
Okay.
But if your goals are blood sugar control, which should be everybody's goal nowadays, anti-inflammatory, trying to lose weight, we should also watch how much we eat of that healthy food, whether it is real, packaged or not.
And would it be more or less the same for everyone, especially for women at different stages of life? What I have in mind, say a pregnant woman, I'm a vegetarian.
Okay.
But in my first pregnancy, I just was dreaming of eating chicken all the time.
Wow.
And it was crazy because I've never have an urge to eat meat, you
Yes.
know? So, and as I work with many women as a psychologist, there's food, it's not just food, right?
Yes.
There's a little bit more to it.
Yes.
We put different meanings. Sometimes people relate to food as in it's a gathering,
Yes.
right? So it's that association with having fun and
Yes.
doing something together,
Yes.
right? So what I'm trying to say, when you think about women at different stages of their life and different perceptions of food, would you give the same recommendations for healthy eating, or would there be any variance in that?
The foundations remain the same. Protein and fiber should be the core of every meal for every woman and every person. There might be slight variations in terms of how much carbs they can eat or how much fat they should eat, but this really depends not on age. It depends on a lot of, factors and goals of that specific woman. But every woman should focus on protein and fiber in every meal. This is foundation regardless of age.
Okay.
And some pattern I noticed, especially among us women, is that we tend to undereat or like live on caffeine until it's afternoon. And this is the biggest mistake we can do as women, is undereating, especially as we age.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women that think that, okay, after 35, my metabolism slows down, so they start automatically eating less. This is the biggest error they should do. Instead of eating less, they should focus on the quality of the food they're eating and ensuring they're hitting their protein goals. Because yes, the metabolism starts slowing down. One of the main reasons is that biologically we start losing muscles as we age, and muscle is your fuel or organ, so it's the one that keeps your metabolism on fire. So the more we lose it, the less we burn, and our metabolism starts slowing down. And when we start eating less protein, skipping meals, relying on caffeine or other things, we start losing even more muscles, and that's where our metabolism starts slowing even down, and we put ourselves at so many health risks that we could easily prevent by just focusing on protein.
That's very interesting you mentioned it, because I feel especially nowadays life can get very stressful.
Yes.
And you see women, like I watch these beautiful women like you every day, wearing so many hats. Here's I'm the mom, here's I'm the wife, here I'm the business person, here's I'm everything at once, and it is stressful, right?
Yes.
I'm trying to do that, not very successfully, but it's difficult, right? It's challenging. So my question is, and what I see again many women, including myself, sometimes, okay, I have something important, I'll have the meal later, or exactly what you're saying, I'll skip this, or I'll just go on a smoothie half a day, right, or something, something like this. So especially for the women who are in this situations where maybe they cannot or choose not necessarily to have 3 meals a day. Are there any shortcuts? Is there anything that could be like plan B, or what would be your advice? There's plan A only.
I do understand that, but because even me as a busy person, sometimes I see myself on the go, not always having that perfect meal ready, but the idea is that it doesn't have to be perfect, you know? So instead of completely skipping the meal, a protein smoothie on the go could be an option.
Okay.
Meals ready in advance, let's say you had 1 hour to prepare something, you can prep in advance, so when you're at home for a quick lunch, you have things ready instead of okay, I don't have anything, I'll just skip it or have another smoothie. So it doesn't have to be 3 perfect meals, but I would say the more we try, the more it becomes automatic for us to dedicate time to have those meals. So, and this is something I guide women that tell me the same thing. I don't have time to cook, I don't have time to eat. There's always a way for it if you really want it.
Or the priority perhaps sometimes.
Yes.
It's making time, right?
Yes.
It's not having time.
Yes. And when I guide them on ways how it's so easy and practical to actually have those meals available when you need them, they're like, oh, you're right. And they start doing that, and it becomes so useful, so practical, so automatic. They would say, oh, how we were living before, on the go coffee and then delivery. And so nothing is impossible, but you should not feel overwhelmed by having it perfect every day.
Right.
It's just small habits build up and consistency.
Yes.
So a good life requires a bit of effort, and it's your choice. You can't have everything.
I like the choice bits, right? It gives you power back. Because also I feel there's so much pressure for women specifically, you have to do this, you have to be that, you have to look certain way, and too much have to. And I feel sometimes even among women, it's like there's not enough space for vulnerability. I'm struggling with this. It's like showing that face that I can all the time. And again, I know that it's not the case. Never did I see a single person who would have everything perfect. I think it's just not possible, right? So I truly appreciate when people open up and talk, that there is a path, that there is a way, that it's not just one linear progression of things. We go in circles over and over again. So if you think about your journey, health, family, your feminine power, what do you think you felt or you thought that didn't allow you to stop, right? Like, for example, you shared that story when you started putting on weight, you had so many different options. You could just stay there, but you were looking into different ways. Same with your kids, right? So what is it in the moment?
I think it's how I see life. Okay, so I'm a very positive person, and I always try to see the positive side of things. But there's something I always tell my husband and my kids, although maybe they're very young to understand it, but I would tell them, life is too short. We are alive today, but maybe we're not tomorrow, or maybe in an hour. So I always try to make the best out of that 1 minute I'm breathing, because I don't know if I will breathe again. And it kind of scares me, this idea that time is passing, clock is ticking, we don't have control of time, and I'm a bit of like a control freak kind of person. This freaks me out, how I can't control time and I can't stop it. Like, I can't tell time stop, I want to make things perfect, and then no, time is not waiting for you, life is not waiting for you. So I have to do the best that I can in that moment that I am at my full power and I am able to do so. So that's why I don't stop trying to achieve that goal that I have in mind. Even if I fail, even if I'm burned out, even if I'm stressed, I keep trying as much as I can. I don't, push myself really to the point that I give up. But, and this is something also I guide my clients, is that not every day is gonna be perfect. If today you binged eat, it was a very stressful day and you decided to binge eat all night, That's fine. That's human. Tomorrow is a new day. Restart again.
Yeah.
Keep focusing on
But
your
I
goal.
love it. I love what you're
Yes.
saying, because you're focusing, from what I hear,
Yeah.
that you're saying, keep moving.
Yes.
Be here and now.
Yes.
Because you don't know what's going to happen in a minute to
Yeah.
1 hour later, but
Yes.
keep moving.
Yeah.
Right? And then whatever you've done, you can always start over.
Yes.
And this is beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Because I think this doesn't allow you or anyone else to give up and just say, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I tried, it didn't work. Okay, I tried, it didn't work, and here I come again.
Yes.
And I try again, and I
Yes.
try again, and I try, and I show up for myself.
Yes.
This is what it sounds.
I don't think, as you said, life is linear. Whatever experiences I've lived throughout my childhood till today is what shapes me to be the person I am today. And I don't see myself as perfect. And at the same time, I stopped trying to be perfect. So I was someone who was a bit of a perfectionist in myself and my work. And I think that part of my life, especially throughout my corporate years, really helped me be successful in the work that I do, be a top achiever. It helped me go up the corporate ladder quickly.
Right.
In short years, I was able, to reach higher positions. Is that drive to always have things perfect, always, wouldn't accept things unless it's delivered at the best. But that drained me.
Yes.
That burns me out.
Absolutely.
So now I just accept that there's nothing that is perfect. Perfect is really an abstract that we set it ourselves. And I think I just want to keep working until I'm happy and satisfied with the result, rather than having something set, trying always to aim to become that person or that...
Yes, and there is kindness and compassion to yourself also, right?
Yes.
Because when we burn out, knowing also my own story, right? It's when we try to reach that perfection. First, it's never achievable, right? And second, the price is too high. I always imagine, imagine a run, and you can reach that finish line in one piece.
Yes.
You can still reach it not in one piece, in many pieces. Burnt, and you can imagine, right? I think the journey matters also. Were there any women in your life that you felt like they left impact on you and that helped you actually have this positive attitude or come up with these values?
Of course, my mom. She is the sweetest, kindest, most person who sacrificed everything for us. And I only appreciated that once I became a mom.
That's always the case.
That's always the case.
Somehow,
right? But I feel women in my day-to-day lives keep inspiring me. The 9 to 6 full-time mom that has to come back home, do homework with her son. The woman who is, trying to find the love of her life, for example, in a word like Dubai, and struggling by herself, but still showing up, in a smile. Every woman I meet has a different story, and every story inspires me and empowers me. And I think we empower each other and the journeys that we have lived.
Yes, and I love what you're saying, that I think happiness somehow is very much stereotyped. It's like, if you are successful, what does it mean? What, you have children tick, you have family, but it's not really that tick, right? It's what's going on inside, and maybe you choose to have children and maybe someone doesn't.
Exactly.
And that's also fully okay. Right? What's success to you?
Success, there's the big success and there's the day-to-day success. Before, when I was young, success was having like high grades or, I always wanted to be on top. So I did graduate actually at the top of my faculty. In school, always I was, top. So that was success for me back then. But now that I have a business, a family, myself, I feel success is, first of all, on a day-to-day level, being able to sit with my kids at night, give them that good night's sleep, and share a story with them. Because it just gives the day a positive closure that we're safe, we're in good health, we're good. Success at a professional level would definitely, as you said, it's not something we can, frame in one word. It's that day-to-day work that you put and you see the company growing. For me, Generation H success has already started, because already we're in a lot of households, lots of families contact me every day saying, thank you for having this concept for us. We finally have access to better products for ourselves, for our kids. That's success for me. So success for Generation H will that growth to reach more and more people, not only on a commercial side, but also education and awareness, and make them acknowledge that not everything in the market that looks healthy is truly healthy. On a personal level, I would say success is having enough time for myself and taking care of my meals, my sports, my priorities, and not, neglecting me just because I have to focus on my business success and my family's success. And my biggest success are my kids. Like, they just bring me so much pride, and their school, their sports activities. So success is a multi-dimensional word, so it's really hard to describe
but your
it in a
description
sentence.
seems, like I love how you combine not only external validation, but internal joy of walking the path of relations, of connectedness with the kids, with the family. Because, ultimately, in the end of the day, it's your kids who will remember mom was there by my side.
Exactly.
Right? And she still impacted so many other kids and adults. So it's, the support for nutrition and all of that. So it sounds to me like a very good, solid.
I don't think there will ever come a day where I say that I've reached success. It's like a goal that I'm always aiming to, and there's always space to do more and do better. So success is having that satisfaction internally that you've done good today. Your kids are good, and it doesn't have to be good every day. It doesn't mean your day wasn't successful, because even if the day was bad, even if you're sick, your kids are sick, even if you are not safe, even if the business, had zero sales or crashed down, success can look like learning from these experiences and how will it help me shape the next day. So
that movement,
movement,
keep trying, keep going, don't stop.
So it doesn't have to be positive all the time. It doesn't have, and it's not actually. And many times,
and this is how we learn.
Yes,
right. Because where's the learning if everything is positive?
It's how you learn and take the best out of that negative experience. And make it shape you into a stronger, better person, hoping for a better day.
And I again love it, because what you're talking about, transforming whatever happened, whatever you've been through, taking it and transforming to the better vision, different vision, something different, right? Not just sitting there and let it stop you.
Passively just waiting for life to become better. It will not.
So it's not the dependence on the circumstances, it's having that something within you that decides. And to me it sounds like feminine power.
Yes. And I think also that idea of life is too short. That I don't want these negative relationships to bring me down. I don't want it to stop here. I want it to become better.
So what do you think would have helped at the time in life when you were in university and had those challenges? Because maybe there is someone who's watching us, and maybe there is a girl in the university, or maybe someone who's already in their career who are struggling, who have those challenges. What kind of message would you give to your younger self at the time, and to many other people who are in the same position now?
When it comes to health and wellness and body weight, I would say the biggest enemy is yourself, the boundaries you put for yourself, and comparing yourself to others. And I think once you try to be someone else and look outside your body and outside the capabilities of your body, this is where you're gonna feel the struggle, and this is where it's gonna backfire on you.
Right.
So instead of looking at social media and trying to aim for that skinny body or that model or actress that you don't know anything about her real life.
Right.
Like, social media doesn't give you real life. Start focusing on yourself. First, love your body in all its condition. And this is something I learned later on. I never loved my body. I never gave my body the care and the love until it was now, like, just recent. But your body is your temple, okay? It's carrying you throughout all these years. the more you love it, the more it will love you back. Because when you love something so much, what you will do? You will give it the right nutrients, the right fuel. You would want the best for it, right? If you really project that love to something, whether it's your body or your kids or your friend, you can never harm it or never give it something. So I would start by telling that young girl or that mom who's struggling, start by loving your body. Look in the mirror and say, I love myself. I've been through so much, and today I decided to love myself. And that affirmation and that word changes everything, because suddenly that negativity and negative energy that you were projecting on yourself transformed into something positive, and your decisions become more cautious, your choices of food, your lifestyle becomes better and more positive. And I'm not telling you, Ola, it's like a one-day transformation. It's day-to-day trying to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love myself. I love myself. I don't care about everybody else. I love myself. It took me more than 20 years to be able to look in the mirror, and till today, I would still look and judge myself. But now I don't care about how another woman looks like or my friend looks like. Now I care about me. But I still look in the mirror and say, I'm aging. I don't like my wrinkles. I don't like my loose hands here. I still project some negativity, but I'm cautious about it. And immediately I say, no, I'm a mom of two. I'm, this is the best that I can do. And I will keep reflecting that positivity to myself. It's not going to happen overnight. But that consistency, that repetition, that everyday look and love yourself is how you're gonna...
it sounds like first you commit to yourself, right? At least look in that mirror. And I know this is one of the most difficult exercises ever. And personally also, it took me forever and still taking forever to look in that mirror and say, so just look, there's one step before we say, just look in the mirror, just look. For 2 minutes, just look, see yourself.
It's so hard.
It's so hard because judgment comes in, right? And what we see, perhaps maybe no one else sees. But we are affected by our own thoughts. That judgment lands in us. So was what you're saying was the changing of at least your own thoughts. At least if you say, I love you, I love myself. Maybe the internal reality, internal story would have a chance for something else.
It will. We have to be realistic. You don't need to set high expectations. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be so strict. Just small changes every day, consistency builds up, and one day you're gonna wake up and you say, wow, who am I? This new person. So
and again, I love it because it's about, for me, it's about conscious creation of yourself, of your life, little bit, right? If you think about it, when we are kids, what control, what power do we have? The family, the environment, we eat what we are given, we go where we're told to go. There's so much going on. We absorb all the beliefs, we download all of those ideas from people around us. But then at some point in life, when we realize, okay, I have a capacity to choose and filter and go through my mind and question it, and through my belief system, through all of that, do I have to continue believing that? Do I really have to follow all those genetic kind of patterns, let's say my family have or culture has? Well, no, I don't. And with the consistency and with the commitment and showing up for yourself, there's lots of potential. Not overnight, as you said.
Not overnight.
It's a work in progress, right? It can go on and on and on like in a spiral, but it will go, as you said. And it gives a lot of inner power.
As you said also, now that you're talking, it's something also important about nutrition and health is that who we are today as health-wise is really the result of not only health, but also mental health and how we look at ourselves. Is the result from maybe the day we were born, okay? So I believe my food complexity, weight complexity when I was a teenager really started at an early age, whereas like a girl going into puberty, I start putting a bit of fat here, a bit of weight here, and I believe my mom, of course, out of goodwill, she was always, Toni, stop eating, you're gaining weight. Toni, this will make you look fat. No, this jeans doesn't look. So all these behaviors we reflect around our daughters really shape how she will grow up into being. So this is a message here to moms who have young daughters or even boys, but it's mostly impacting women. Every message you tell your daughter, every behavior really shapes her food and body relationship when she grow up. And it gets so embedded in her DNA that it becomes very hard to, and I'm sure you experience this in your practice. I was a binge eater for many years. I would calm down my emotions with food and then go into that roller coaster of eating, because then I will feel guilty that I've gained weight, and I wouldn't stop for nights and nights and nights. And till today, sometimes I still find food as comfort for me, and I still feel like I'm so stressed and tired, I just want to eat. And I think because it's like my weakest point since I'm very young. A message not only for those who are struggling, but also a message for moms who have young daughters. Watch out how you're treating food and body images, and be the role model that you want your daughter to be.
This is a very important message. I so appreciate it. And I also want to add that for some people it's comforting themselves with food. I'm a little bit on a different side. If I'm stressed, I won't eat. So if someone, if you see someone skinny or someone who is slim, it's not necessarily healthy, slim thing. So this is something to also remember, right? That we can go different sides with food. And I guess it's not the food itself, right? It's how we use it, what it means to us,
100%.
What we were told when we were kids, and how we took that message, because that message is imprinted, it's engraved. And sometimes, it's not just what mothers say to their daughters, but it's also how the mother behaves with the food herself, how she looks in the mirror and says, oh, I ate too much, now, should skip dinner, or my tummy is I'm not gonna wear this or that. So all of that children register, right? And it just becomes a working model, which doesn't have to be so.
Exactly.
Which doesn't have to be so. There are different ways.
So our behaviors really impact our kids. So
I love talking to you. Just the final question. What would your message be to the women who are watching us? Any kind of tips, advice, just feedback, insight? What is it that you would like to share with them as the final word?
There's so many messages I want to share.
And you already shared so many also.
I did mention, as we said, change doesn't have to happen overnight. It's not a linear path. It's the small, simple habits that we change on a day-to-day basis that builds up and lead to that big change later on. Don't stop trying. Don't give up on yourself. Stay positive. Life is too short. So maybe I would give them that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your honesty. And thank you for your courage. Thank you for your beauty. And thank you for your visionary attitude and positivity to life. I loved it. What I take away from today is keep moving.
Yes, keep moving.
This is my message.
Thank you so much, Ola. It was amazing to be here.
Thank you talking to me. This was Feminine Power, and this is a reminder to every woman out there that you are capable and worthy. Keep going.